toward Mafia.
Nobody wants to eat Kane.
He does not teleport well.
Why the fuck would he send us to your office?
Drop the
Save
squids.
day, of course.
Drop
Do
the
it.
squids!
Where did you send them?
Away.
Away where? Oh, you think I need an audience for this? I don't.
Pouting.
Then why didn't you send me?
Because I don't want to be alone when I die.
So this is where you sent it from, back in '85.
You told him.
I didn't say shit.
You knew? Did they tell everybody in the FBI?
You work for the FBI.
I'm their top vigilante hunter.
You slaughtered half of New York.
I say it's humanity, you ignorant hayseed. Now, if you'd kindly stop distracting me, I would very much like to save it again. I mean, every moment we were together all at once. I love you, Angela.
That was just disrespectful.
I'll show her a goddamn rerun. You, there's a temperature gauge in that corner. What's the current reading? Baby squids. I designed them to be harmless, to dissolve shortly after impact. No reason to incur damage and casualties, but if I freeze them before transport, it'll be like firing a Gatling gun from the heavens.
Do you think we'll really be able to save John?
Oh, I'm sure John's dead already.
What's she going to do with this power once she's got it?
She claims she's gonna fix the world.
How do you know she won't?
Because she is clearly a raging narcissist whose ambition knows no limits. Anyone who seeks to attain the power of a god must be prevented at all costs from attaining it. But believe me, that girl will not rest until she has us all prostrate before her, kissing her tiny blue feet.
Raging narcissist, huh?
Takes one to know one. Everyone and everything within 5 square blocks is about to be obliterated.
Hello?
You need to take cover. Where's Angela?
It's for you.
Fucking book it.
Hello?
It's Blake. You need to run right now. Get inside. They're coming any second. They're coming from the sky.
Yowza. Her tolerance for pain's really high.
I think she's in shock. She's dead. He's dead. Oh boy.
At that rate of falling, they're all dead.
Oh yeah, you want to get away from that thing.
I love how the plastic heart thing is keeping you safe. But it's destroying the metal?
Yeah.
She probably had to make it out of a flimsy metal for it to work.
Yeah.
Why did she just stay in the booth?
Because the big thing is falling. Yeah.
And she knows her kids are in this building.
Oh, fair enough.
They got the wind knocked out of him when he zapped them here. But they're okay. Is he gone?
Yes.
I'm sorry. How about her? Is she gone too?
Her too.
Not nearly as sorry about that. Making a deal with her was his idea.
He knew he was going to die. And you helped him.
Well, we helped each other. He came to me right after he met you. I was sitting in this exact spot almost 100 years ago. This was a silent movie house before they built it back up. My mama played the piano right over there. It hurt too. The hood, when I put it on, you felt what I felt?
Anger.
And that's what I thought too. But it wasn't. It was fear. It was hurt. You can't heal under a mask, Angela. Wounds need air. He wanted me to give him up. He told me you tried to save him. But this was the way it had to be. You can't make an omelet without breaking a couple of eggs.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
That's just something he said. He said you would understand when the time was right.
Well, I don't.
When the time ain't right?
We have a guest room. You can come home and stay if you want. Just for a couple of nights.
And that's how they never got rid of him again.
That's how Grandpa moved in.
It's been a hoot.
You're coming with us.
Excuse me?
You killed 3 million people, Adrian. You're under arrest.
Ha! That's funny. You got me for a moment.
I'm not joking.
You have no proof.
I do. This is your confession. Explaining to Redford what you did and how you did it.
So I suppose the FBI is going to arrest the president, too?
Sure. Why not?
Because the world will end.
People keep saying that, but it never seems to happen.
Who do you think you are to hold judgment over me, huh? I saved mankind. Again. And you have the audacity to...
That guy talks too much.
Best friend.
I'm happy Wade survived.
Yeah. He got closure on his trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look too hard at anything in front of your kids.
I really hope they fix the temperature setting, otherwise you're gonna have Gatling squids randomized.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, did they turn that off before
No, they just arrested him because he thought he was gonna stay. So I don't think he's like, I'll do it later. Someone could write that story. Someone.
Now slurp up the eggs to get the superpowers.
No, there's one egg, I bet you.
Just lick the yolk off the floor.
He was a good man. I'm sorry he's gone. But, considering what you could do, you could have done more.
So, you could put them in this egg, and if I ate it, I could walk on water?
Theoretically, yes.
Smashes into the floor.
That reflection shot was actually a really good shot.
Yeah. Just eats it raw.
Well,
Yeah, salmonella.
Cooking it might mess up.
She's gonna get the superpowers. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Theoretically.
He said
theoretically.
You gotta break a couple of eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah. Supposed to make an omelet.
I'm the walrus.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. She's gonna put her foot down and it's gonna end.
You better not.
Oh my gosh, they did it! Freaking Sopranos me.
the slower it got as it got closer to the water, I'm like, yeah, that's
like
going to happen.
Do that.
Yeah.
There's nothing more? Like last episode?
Nope. They only did it for one episode, and that was the last episode. That's it. That's the end of Watchmen. What did we think?
It's good. Overall, I liked it.
Yeah.
That was an experience. I really liked it. That was not like a bad. This is such an experience. Like that was, and I'm glad that it was like one. It's done. Kind of.
I kind of am too. Before we knew that this was it, I was like, "Oh man, second season's gonna be nuts." Did she just fall in? And then it's like she slowly gets her powers throughout the season. Is it instantaneous? Where could they go from here?
Yeah.
And Liz was like, "I don't know. You tell me." I ended it where I wanted to end it, and kudos for him for that. As a fan of the original book and of the Zack Snyder film, I am also very big fan of this show.
Yeah.
Watchmen, I think, is a great book. I get why Alan Moore has kind of disowned it, because it got big.
Yeah.
And it was kind of taken from him. Like, he didn't own anything. Even though he wrote it and created it, DC kind of screwed him out of making money off of it.
Oh.
So he's like, well, then take my name off it.
Yeah.
And he refuses any royalties or anything he gets from stuff like this and other things.
I mean, they also obscured the message a lot. And
yes.
I don't think this as much, but
No.
the Zack Snyder movie.
The Zack Snyder movie is how I felt about the book in high school. when I first heard, like, Rorschach's so cool. Oh man, the world, the intrigue's so interesting, and and all that's true. But you're supposed to. The message of the book is, if superheroes were real, that would be bad. And the message of the show has a lot of messages, but I think the main message of the show is still that if cops acted like superheroes, that would be bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the police are kind of bad. Like, they put all these gun regulations in place. They have, a much larger black presence in the police force. Mm-hmm. And they're still taking away people's rights, beating them, using no lawyer. Like, it doesn't matter how much stuff you throw at the police unless you tear it down and rebuild it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. And that's the same with kind of the country as a whole.
Yeah.
The white supremacy is so ingrained that 2 generations of senators were part of a secret white supremacist cult.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. That a prominent senator we all know somewhere is part of a secret organization of white supremacists. I would not be at all surprised to learn that.
A senator?
Exactly.
I think the only problem I have with that statement is just you think it's only one.
You're right. If I found out there's only one senator,
who else?
Wow.
I would be surprised if it's only one. Like, really? Only one? Wow. Okay.
We're doing better than I thought.
We're not. I wouldn't be surprised if there were multiple senators part of secret white supremacist cults that were unaware of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm part of Cyclops. Cyclops, what's that? I'm part of the Serpent. Like, the Serpent? Oh, like Cyclops is cooler. I wouldn't be surprised in that scenario. There's just so many secret cults.
But don't tell anybody.
I know. Yeah. Like, they're doing nothing. Like, what's that? Like, oh, I thought you were. No, I'm this. What's this?
It differs from states.
Yeah.
That's a much bigger message.
Yeah.
How do you keep that one secret?
Hail Hydra. That's still a thing? I'm part of this new thing. Oh, Hydra's still going. Okay. I didn't know. Well, you know what, man? Secret's safe with me. Don't tell no one about Cyclops. I won't be going talking about Hydra. Yeah. But I greatly enjoyed this show.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy everything Lindelof makes. I love Lost, which is coming to the channel eventually. I'm one of the few people who really like Prometheus.
Not seen it.
I haven't seen that one either.
It's not great, but I like it.
Is that...
all the problems people point out are true.
Okay.
But I like it anyway.
Prometheus. That's not like an Alien
That's
prequel.
the Alien prequel.
That is the Alien prequel.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah, with the engineers. Yeah.
Funny
It's dumb. It's the smartest dumb movie I've ever seen.
Funny,
or rather, it's the dumbest smart movie I've ever seen.
Funny story. I sold the idea of going to watch that movie to my friend who I sold it as a thriller. And she's like, oh, okay, I want to go watch it. And she hates scary movies. And she's like, yeah, you didn't tell me that was a scary movie.
It's barely a scary movie.
I was like, they go exploring.
I think I watched it with you.
Yes,
Into
the drive-in. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you were there for that. Yeah. I didn't know it was a scary movie.
So yeah, he wrote that, and then he did another show about the people disappearing.
Either the 100
Leftovers.
or
I think
Left Behind?
No, I think it's called The Leftovers. It was another HBO show.
Oh, okay.
It's about like something similar to The Rapture happens, but no one knows for sure, and that's the show. I guess I've never seen it, but I've heard good things. It didn't seem like my kind of bag. Maybe we'll do it on the show eventually. But this is I guess the first Damon Lindelof show, and I love this show. It's a great show. What is everyone's favorite episode? If you can remember and separate them in your minds.
So, I guess the one that gave me the most feeling was the second episode. Like, just because, like, I was like, yeah, they're rounding up the white supremacists because they were, like, died and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm like, wait, this just feels wrong to be liking this. And I'm like, wait, yeah, because I don't like it because the cops would have done this if they weren't black. And I was like, what? So my problem isn't the race, it's the cops. It's like, it's the cop part. So I think that one gave me the most feeling.
Okay.
I think the episode about Wade is probably my favorite. I like Wade as a character.
Yeah.
Partially just because he's so aware of
he's very
everything.
Yes, he's hyper observant. He's like a genius observer. He's not like a genius inventor or anything.
But he's also very down to earth. Like Adrian Veidt going on his whole thing, and he's just like, nah, he talks too much.
I love his line about when he was asked, "Did you know that Crawford was a racist?" And he's like, "He's a white man in Oklahoma."
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like he's so aware of everything.
Yes, he's very practical and realistic.
That's a hard step for a lot of white people to take.
Yeah, to be aware of that, and he's like you said, aware of everything. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
This entire thing was a blur for me. I don't know what episode is what, but I enjoyed the entire thing. It was really good.
I think I said it when we watched it. My favorite episode is the memory pill episode.
Yeah,
where she goes through her
very seamless back and forth.
The one shot going through the memories with when everything in color from other memories creep in and all that stuff.
That was a cool episode.
Directing wise, the episode's great. I think the story in that one's great. Especially if you read the comic, because the character of Hooded Justice is a total background character. Mm-hmm. It's just a little factoid. Like, he was the first one to start doing this. That's all you really need to know. We don't really know who he was. We think he was a German strongman, but we don't know for sure.
He was not.
He was not, apparently. Yeah, great show. Only a couple characters from the comic show up. Dr. Manhattan, of course. Mm-hmm. Silk Spectre. And Ozymandias, and apparently Senator King's Senior.
Did they have a flashback to Rorschach?
In the show, no.
And the only thing they had was they were talking about Rorschach, the FBI.
The FBI talking about
nothing.
And the white supremacists wore masks similar to his. Yeah. But Rorschach never comes up. We never see him in the show. And we don't see Night Owl either. He's in jail somewhere. And yeah, I think everyone else in the comic's dead. So, that's who he. I think that's a good restraint. It's easy just to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
They only brought half of them back, so it's fine.
Well, even then, they weren't.
The focus.
Yeah, the focus. Even Adrian, he's played a big role in the whole thing, but he was still just kind of. This is just happening. Hey, this is happening.
He had a segment to the side, and the only original character to have their own episodes, Dr. Manhattan, because he's the MacGuffin of this show. All the other episodes. I guess Laurie Blake had an episode too when she was introduced, but that's pretty much it. Which okay, I'm fine with it. Yeah. I like that they try to do something different. They could have just done Watchmen again, which I think is what the sequel comic kind of was. I never read it. Mm. I've been wanting to. I just never got around to it.
I never like that when they do that to shows. Like, hey, here's a live action of your favorite anime. It's just the anime again. I was like, don't need that.
I've always believed that live action shows and movies should be either about side characters or a sequel or prequel. Never have it be the exact thing. You'll mess it up somehow. It never comes out right.
If they just wanted to adapt the story into a show, I would have been down for that. That's what I thought it was going to be when they announced it, but they said, no, it's actually going to be a sequel. They're doing a TV sequel to the comic? That's weird, but okay. And then I watched it, and I was like, okay. They had me in the first episode with the Tulsa Massacre.
They had you at hello.
Yeah,
pretty much. I was like, oh, okay. And then later I found out that was real. Because I never learned that in school.
I didn't learn it either. Yeah, I didn't learn it from this, but I learned it from a comic who did the same thing. Okay. And I was like, wait, what's this? And then I started hearing news stuff about it because I think Watchmen just came out. Mm. And I was like, oh, that actually happened? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that I don't know why, but for one brief moment, this massacre just kind of, hey, did you know this happened? Because what happened here in Watchmen, it's also in Lovecraft Country. It's in the comic you were talking about. Just people just started talking about it spontaneously. Mm. Kind of weird.
I mean, it's probably good for us to learn more about stuff like that from our history.
Probably, definitely.
I just wonder if it was like, I heard they're doing this, well, we're going to do it too, kind of thing. Or if it's just one of those spontaneous idea things where people like, how come we never learned about this?
Independently just like decide, I'm going to do something about this.
About this untold horrible thing that happened. That time terrorists took over an entire town and got away with it. Yeah. Well, other than the political stuff, I didn't ask it before. Golden, have you read the book?
Mm-mm. My first introduction was the movie.
You saw the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this.
Frankie, any interest in reading the book now or watching the movie?
I think I'd read the book. Maybe the movie.
Like I said, the movie's good. They just didn't
understand.
They had a high school student's level of understanding the book, which is fine for a movie because it's got to be shorter. Yeah. And the ending is different in the movie than in the book. Because if you watch the movie and then the show, it doesn't 100% line up where they leave off. But before the ending, it's like exactly, other than the tone.
Yeah, the framing's off.
But the events are pretty much exact.
Okay, then. I'd be down.
It's just like, instead of saying, oh God, this is horrible, they say, oh God, this is awesome. That's kind of They really make Rorschach seem like a cool guy in the movie. And he is a cool guy. He's just also an awful... crazy person. Yeah. He's a crazy homeless person who punches people.
Yeah.
And believes in awful right-wing conspiracies.
And has a cool mask.
He has a cool mask and a cool costume, and he's just cool the way he carries himself, you know? You're like, he's so cool.
Yeah, I don't care about stuff. And I got a deep kind of voice.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah. He's a cool character, but you're not supposed to make him an idol. He's cool like the Joker's cool. Like, you're not supposed to go out and kill people because you like the Joker, and you're not supposed to like, oh man, I really identify with the Joker. No, you're supposed to think the Joker's cool. And end of thought.
People do that with the Joker Harley Quinn relationship. They idealize that, and it's like you shouldn't be doing that either.
No, he.
I think Harley Quinn Ivy's relationship you could idealize a little bit, but the Joker Harley Quinn one,
be gay, do crime. That's an old meme, right? I dated myself a little bit, I guess. Not really. That's not that old. Is it?
No.
It's pre-pandemic, so it's old. But no. I mean, he beat her up on the kids show. You're not supposed to like the Harley Joker. You're supposed to appreciate for what it is. Yeah. That's the thing. People don't appreciate things for what they are. They fan fiction it in their head.
Yeah.
To what it should have been, or what it could be, or what they liked about it and change it. You know, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a problem people have.
Yeah.
That I also have.
That's what I liked about the movie is, like, that she was just, like, it was like the after, like, broke up with the Joker, and now I'm doing my own thing. And, like...
Yeah, no,
I like the next step.
I like Birds of Prey. I really liked the Suicide Squad, but I think the Harley Quinn animated series is a much better take on Harley Quinn's post-Joker journey.
The first Suicide Squad or the second Suicide Squad?
The Suicide Squad, which is the sequel.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's good.
I haven't either.
I've heard good things about it.
It's real good. It's probably my favorite DC EU, whatever it's called, in universe movie. It used to.
Are they actually framing a full universe now?
I mean, they were, and now it's kind of like whatever. I mean, they maintain continuity in the Suicide Squad. It is a sequel. It's not a reboot. It's just what happened in the first movie doesn't matter, other than Harley Quinn met these people.
Yeah, but they're framing all the DC movies now together as one thing.
I mean, they were.
They keep like cutting and chopping because they're doing things wrong, and then it's
yeah. No, the management of the DC movies have been a bit of a mess. I really liked Shazam. I really liked The Suicide Squad. Birds of Prey is good.
I haven't seen the first two yet.
I liked Man of Steel. I'm a fan of Man of Steel. I understand why people don't like it, and they're right to not like it, but I still like it. I like Zack Snyder movies. I look at them and appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah.
Which is movies that have issues, but are still pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I liked Man of Steel. I didn't like Justice League, though.
Which one? The theatrical cut or the Zack Snyder cut?
I've only seen the theatrical cut.
Okay.
I haven't watched the Snyder cut.
Snyder cut's actually pretty good.
I've heard good things about it. But my whole belief of that is they shouldn't have brought Superman back in the first one. He should have stayed dead to the end of that movie. Because every episode of Justice League that I remember as a child ended the same way. Superman's getting beat up and the entire Justice League shows up to save him, or the entire Justice League's getting beat up and Superman shows up to save him.
Yeah.
So you watch that movie and they're losing and Superman shows up to save him and he just beats what's-his-name down. Whereas if they did, instead of that whole thing about bringing Superman back, background on Steppenwolf and Doomsday and all that, or not Doomsday, Darkseid. Steppenwolf and Darkseid, and then had the Justice League just barely beat Steppenwolf at the end of the fight, then you go, oh man, how are they going to beat Darkseid? What are they going to do? Then you bring Superman back in the Darkseid movie where then they can have this big fight where they have to all work together.
I think something like that was the original plan when Justice League was a 2-part film, but then they made it be one, and so I think they moved some stuff around.
Yeah, I just don't think Superman should have been in that movie. It would have been better.
I liked Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. It's longer, so you gotta be committed to watching it. I think it's much better because it flows better because they didn't cut all Cyborg's part out of the movie, so it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Hearing what Zack Snyder's plan was for the follow-up is total crazy insanity, and I'm kind of glad they're not doing it. Part of me, though, would like to see it.
Okay. With all of what they did on the after credits thing?
Well, that's part of it, but, I mean, spoilers, I guess, if they ever make a sequel with Zack Snyder. Lois is the key because she does eventually get killed, and Superman turns evil. She gets killed while pregnant with Superman's child.
That happened in the comic books.
So
that's where they pulled that from.
So they're trying to start off the whole...
it's kind of like Injustice,
Lords.
but with Darkseid. And it creates a horrible future, and the only way to stop it is for the Flash to go back in time. But because the Earth rotates around the sun, if he was to travel back in time at a different point, he would just die in space when there's no Earth there. So they only try once a year to send him back in time, and he messed up in Batman v Superman, went too far. But anyway, the big reveal is Batman, after Superman died, Batman and Lois Lane hooked up, and the child was actually his that died when she died. And he was in love with her, but she was still in love with Superman. And when Superman came back, it's like, yeah, I don't care about Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent's back. And the big ending thing was going to be she never got to tell Superman that the child wasn't his. But now that the difference in the new timeline is that she tells him before she dies, and she doesn't die. And Superman's like, you know what? I was dead, so it's not cheating on me. I was adopted. I'm fine adopting this kid. Is mine. And then they go on, and then Superman sacrifices himself, so he never gets to raise the kid. And when the kid grows up, he becomes the new Batman.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was like where they were going.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be an interesting story, but...
It's interesting, but like, why you gotta... That's
Wait,
weird. Why,
Yeah.
why you gotta get in with Lois Lane and Batman having a kid together? Superman has, ends up like being fine with it, but like, I mean, that's good for Superman. Like, I'm glad that is where... I'm glad Zack Snyder would think, and then Superman gets all... Like, no, Superman would be fine with it. He would understand. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, Superman's your real father, but also Batman is technically your father, and now you're Batman. Because you didn't get any Superman's powers. Yeah.
That's a little intense.
Yeah, it's all, yeah. So I'm kind of like, fine with him not making that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did make the Watchmen movie. So, I mean, watch that if you get a chance. Watch the big old, over 3 hour long director's cut with animated sequences and stuff. That version's cool. Because... Yes, there are animated pirate segments in the movie because there's a pirate comic in the book.
You had me on pirates. I'm there.
In the world of Watchmen, because superheroes are real, comic books are mostly about pirates.
Fair enough.
Arr.
Pirate comics take off because people are tired of superheroes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It didn't really come up much on the show. There's some references to the comic. The black flag hanging from the sickle on Europa at one point. I don't know what deal that is. I think it's supposed to reference that the stuff with him is kind of supposed to be like the stuff in the pirate comic, where loneliness, stranded, using dead bodies. It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else to cover before we end the episode?
I don't know. The acting was amazing.
Great acting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Regina King. I haven't seen that movie she's in on Netflix where it's a cowboy. It's a western.
Oh,
but it has Bass Reeves in it as a character.
So they something like The Harder They Fall or something like that.
Yeah, Harder They Fall. I think it's called. I've been wanting to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Not even heard of it.
It's supposed to be pretty good. Like a really cool western. It's a mostly black cast and it's a western and Bass Reeves is in it.
Nice.
So. And she's in it, so I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. I know she directed a movie that I think won an Oscar or some awards.
That I don't know.
I forget. I gotta look it up. But I know she directed a movie that was pretty good recently. So, and also the old Boondocks.
I loved her as Huey and Riley.
Yes, she was both. She used to be the voiceover for like a shampoo commercial. And they heard that voice and were like, let's audition her for Riley or Huey. And then they're like, let's get her for both. She's really good. She can voice both of them. Why not? And so she did.
Cheddar biscuits. Yeah.
So yes, I guess those are. If you liked Watchmen, I recommend watch the movie, watch Justice League, the Snyder Cut. And watch the Western movie she's in, and watch the movie she directed, and also watch Boondocks.
Watch
it all.
Just watch everything Regina King is in and involved with.
Watch, man.
She's great. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know what you want us to watch eventually. Not next. Because there's no way the timeline for that would work possible. But maybe after what's next, let us know in the comments below. And thanks again for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye, Internet.